Good morning, and welcome back to the show. We are here with University School Class of 2023 alum, former prefect, and now student at the University of Colorado Boulder, Cooper Mlakar. How are you, Cooper?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
You know, your perspective is going to be really interesting because you're only a couple of years out of high school, right, and out of US, and some other alumni have been on the show. But they graduated much before you. So before we can get into these after US details, though, we kind of want to return to how you got to US and what your journey was to this point.
Yeah. So I've had a few family members come to US. So my dad went to US. I had some cousins, and then my grandparents or my grandfather. So there was that generational pull to it. But I live in Chagrin. Came to visit in like 5th grade, started at US in 6th grade, and just fell in love with it. It was a lot of fun. Loved middle school. And then, had fun in middle school, getting to know my class, getting to know the teachers. I became house captain, which was a lot of fun. And then coming to high school, got to go to school with my brother for a couple of years, and that was fun. And yeah, I mean, US has a lot of opportunities that I loved. Playing sports here, hanging out with friends, and just the relations with the teachers was awesome.
Do you have any specific memories that you're pretty fond of from your time in the middle school?
Yeah, I mean, Founders Day, you can always look back on. Those are always fun. I think, 8th grade year, I just had a lot of fun with, the house captains and running around and doing all the projects that we would do. Really just like, it's the small things, just like hanging out in class with your friends, talking to your friends at lunch, going to field and just messing around, whether it's playing dodgeball or mat ball or whatever. I think like the best field memory, I think was like 6th grade. We did some like sports cup. I forget what was it called, but each team was like a country or something, and you just played like various sports throughout the year. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I remember my team made it like to the finals, and we lost to basketball because the other team had like the 2 best basketball players in the grade. But that was pretty fun.
And were you involved in any clubs or activities at the upper school?
Yeah. So I was outside of being a prefect. I was in One Love. I was on the Aurelian Society, Lopresti board, and student events committee, which I think were like the big ones. And then I was in ping pong club and all the small ones. But those are awesome. I really loved being in One Love. That was awesome. And to see that grow throughout the years on just the number of people in the club. But then we expanded to, having the meetings with like HB, which was awesome to see. To get that different perspective, that was cool. Students Events Committee was a lot of fun, playing the homecomings as much as we could with because we were still getting out of COVID and all that. So planning events and trying to figure out new ways to do that. And Aurelian Society was sweet, figuring out volunteer opportunities and pursuing those and things like that. So.
And I'm in Lopresti and One Love, so One Love is still going strong.
Good. Yeah.
Who were some of the mentors at US who really just took you along and took you under their wing and really made you into who you are today?
Yeah. I gotta talk about Mr. Perry, Brian Perry. He was my homeroom teacher. Right from the get-go, from freshman year, he was great. Our personalities just matched. And whenever I had questions about school, whether it was a way to talk to a teacher or not doing well on an assignment or a class, he always helped me, even in math too. I never had him as a math teacher, but he would always help me on the side, sometimes when I needed it. Ms. Ullery was fantastic. Met her through One Love. Me and her got a great connection, and she helped me out with just life and just, stressing out school, stressing out life and all that. She was awesome. There are so many different teachers. I could shout out Mr. Richmond, even Coach Mabasa, Coach O'Brien for sure had a huge impact on just my mental health, especially junior and senior year. Mrs. Coy, Dr. Gotchi when he was still here, and even Mr. Gallagher. There were tons and tons of teachers that I really connected with, and that I really appreciate, the relationships I had with them. And they're always good to see when I come back and visit.
Going back to that prefect topic, right? You became that prefect in your senior year from McCare House, right? Mm-hmm. What made you want to really become a prefect? And would you say that you were always a leader?
So I think I wanted to become a prefect. I think it stemmed from just middle school, from seeing Founders Day with the prefects, and wanting to be house captain. And then coming to high school, I think establishing myself as a leader. I would like to think I've always been somewhat of a leader, or tried to be, whether that's in small settings like group projects or, on an athletic field. I definitely wanted to have that leadership mentality. But I think one of the best things about being a prefect is, the fact that like students are, looking up to you too. It's not just, it's not just a disciplinary person. I think as a middle schooler, I really looked up to the senior prefects, and even though I never knew them really, and they were just the kids in the halls, even as a freshman in high school, that you wanted to be with or wanted to be around and be like. They were the guys, that were good at school. They were the guys that everyone was saying hi to, that the teachers were saying hi to. So they just had this attitude and the way that they carried themselves around that I liked. And I kind of just wanted to be that guy that people could come up to and say hi, and know I'd say hi back.
You talk about trying to assert yourself as a leader. What were some of those principles that maybe you led by or tried to use when you were a leader?
Yeah. I think basically I feel like the core ones are approachability. I thought that was one of the big ones I mentioned, like in my prefect speech, I think, was just being able to, I wanted kids to come up to me and ask for help, and kind of be this friendly person that people are not scared or nervous to talk to. I think one of them is your ability to just communicate with others, not try to be a dictator leader and just boss people around, but be someone that really hears other people's thoughts, understands where they're coming from, and try to actually pick the best solution, not just the one you think of because, you're labeled with the leader. It's just trying to figure out, how to work with people and how to reach the ultimate goal together.
You guys had a really amazing group of prefects. Like, thinking back, that was our 8th grade year. So we weren't really in the high school with you guys.
Yeah.
But we still kind of felt that same, impact. And we heard all your speeches at Founders Day and had Founders Day kind of with you. Mm-hmm. Even from that day, we felt the impact that you guys had as leaders. How did you lead such a wide range of talents, backgrounds, and interests at US so effectively? And how do you think prefects really kind of fit into that role?
Yeah. There was a lot. My senior year was a lot of fun. And I think it was really special too. And it was really, because of that group of prefects, I think, and that entire senior class. And I'm glad that even as 8th grader, you felt our impact, whether it was big or small. Right at the beginning of the summer, we had our prefect retreat, and Miss Coy asked, what we wanted to do. And it was our first true year out of COVID. And what I mean by that is, sophomore year, right, we were still masked up. We had our 4 classes a day. Everyone's masked. You didn't eat in the cafeteria. You had assembly in a classroom on Zoom. You still had Zoom. Junior year was a little different. I think we went unmasked the second semester. But everyone was still, they weren't eating all in the cafeteria. We weren't still all in the auditorium, whatever. And then senior year was kind of the first normal year. And so they kind of put it in our hands of, they posed us the question, what is normal? And so our goal was to really just show everyone else what we thought US was. And Miss Coy asked us, how do we do that? What are the things that we want to really address. And the big word was culture. And so the prefects really worked on, how do we change the culture or just bring it back and show, the juniors through freshmen and even the middle schoolers, if you guys felt the effect, what the culture at US was like. So it was really just us working together as a class, as friends, to make school fun again, and just make sure that everyone, was walking through those doors with a smile on their face, excited to be here, excited about the things that US has to offer. And it was just that journey, and it was a lot of fun.
And I know it did have a huge impact, and people still talk about replicating the brotherhood that was felt during when your class was seniors. So, looking back on your time at high school, do you have any things you wish you were involved in, or maybe any regrets from your time in high school?
So I regrets? I don't know. I think I learned early on, that U.S. is a great spot to try everything. I think it was the freshman club fair. I signed up for like 20 clubs because I was just like, why not? It's easier to, drop them later on in your years here than it is to pick them up probably. So I was in, Aurelian Society freshman year. I was in Student Events Committee freshman year, Lopresti senior freshman year, and One Love too. So, and I loved being in all of those. I loved being in all the clubs. I wouldn't say I had really any regrets. No, I used my time here. I had a lot of fun. I tried a lot of things. My sophomore year, I took drama class, which was way out of the ballpark for me, but I had so much fun. It was something different for me. Got to really know, more classmates of mine than I didn't really know before, rather than just taking a photo with all my, close friends. No, I think, if I had to give one advice, I'd say you're 4 years at this place, and you're going to miss it. It's an awesome spot to be. And so try everything you want to wholeheartedly, have fun, and just enjoy the 4 years.
You coming at US, you decided to go to Colorado Boulder, like your hoodie obviously says. What made you kind of decide that school, and when did you know Colorado was the place for you?
Yeah, so I've had some family go to Colorado, so there wasn't too much pressure from that, surprisingly. I know that some families, they're, like a that college family. We were never like a, Colorado family. But I just wanted to go to a place that offered things outside of the campus, so I wasn't stuck on campus all day. And I was originally looking for schools that offered just hotel management is kind of my area that I want to go into. I'm just studying business there. But I wanted to go to a school that offered things outside of campus. And Colorado is a beautiful spot. I mean, there's mountains, 5 blocks away from my apartment. There's skiing in the winter, hiking in the summer. There's camping, there's fishing. I can just go drive around and go look at the, scenic views. It's a beautiful state. It's a lot of fun. And so I didn't apply to that many schools. Boulder was probably just my top choice. When I went to go visit, I was like, this is pretty sweet. It was a blue sky day with, the mountains. I was like, all right, this isn't too bad. So I got accepted, and then I think a few weeks before I got accepted, I got the notification on my phone that Deion Sanders was the football coach. So I was like, all right, if I, it would be a hard spot to pass up. And then, so I got the acceptance letter, and I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, following Coach Prime.
Yeah, exactly.
How much of those outdoors, the hiking and skiing, do you get to actually enjoy when you're at school there?
Yeah. So last year, I didn't have a car freshman year, which isn't a huge thing. Don't bring a car out freshman year, But I got like 20 days of skiing last year, which is not bad. It was actually pretty good. Tried to go out on weekends when I could. This year I do have my car out, so hoping to ski a lot more. I didn't do, too much you know, like more special hikes, I guess. So, I mean, I did the hikes, the mountain range that's right on the edge of campus, you know, a lot. We would do that when friends or family come to visit during the fall, or, you know, you're out of class and me and my friends would go up for the sunset or something like that, or, you know, just a nice Saturday and you're bored, we go on a hike. So it's definitely an active campus in the sense that you're moving around. It's really hard to just sit inside all day, especially when it's blue skies 360 days of the year and the sun's shining. So, yeah, definitely out and moving.
How's that environment with Coach Prime there, Shador, Travis Hunter? Has that kind of brought some energy to the campus?
For sure. Last year, I think when we definitely had the hype, whether our season was 4-9 or whatever it was, it was unbelievable. I mean, I was my dorm was right outside one of the main like quads, and we had Big Noon kickoff there like 4 weeks in a row. They would post a list of celebrities that came like every weekend. So we had like, I mean, we still have celebrities come to our games. So I mean, Lil Wayne shows up like all the time. It's definitely awesome. The hype that Dion brings, with just the celebrities that come, the excitement to the games. I mean, all the games are sold out. And this year being a lot better than we were last year, with Travis winning Heisman, which is awesome, whether there's debates he should have or not. You know, Shador playing well, and those two going, you know, probably both top 10 picks. It's definitely exciting to see a transformation of a football team that hasn't been good in 30 years to all of a sudden, you know, they have a bowl game and they're winning and the games are sold out. It's definitely a lot of fun. Definitely went at the right time.
You know, kind of going back to US, do you think really like US prepared you for the college experience and just for college as a whole?
So I joke around because one of my roommates is from Cleveland, but he didn't go to US, and you know, he doesn't know how to like write a paper, like, and so I, you know, jokingly I'm like, dude, like I would write papers just nonstop, like sophomore English all the time. But US definitely teaches you a lot of skills needed, and I think the biggest one is time management. Just simply because college is all it's a lot of freedom. I mean, you have class whenever. You don't have to go. You don't have to show up. You know, I know a lot of friends that never show up to class and just submit the assignments or figure out how to take the tests. But US teaches you, you know, you got to go to class. They teach you how to take notes, how to study. A lot of my friends are in the library late nights just trying to figure out, you know, how to do homework efficiently and how to study. And I'm just like, I've been doing this since, you know, 6th grade almost. So I'm studying, I'm, you know, writing papers easily, reaching out to teachers when I need to, utilizing my resources. And I do think that all just comes from what US taught me.
Many seniors are still in the midst of their college process. Do you have any advice for those seniors that are still waiting to hear back?
Don't stress. I mean, I think everything happens for a reason. I definitely was stressing during my college process, just because I applied to so little schools. I mean, one of them was Hawaii, and that was you know, all right, if all else fails, I'll throw on some flip-flops and go to class. So thank God I got into Boulder, because otherwise I think my life would be in a very different situation right now. But don't worry. I think everything's gonna happen for a reason. You know, and it's not the end of the world too if you don't get into your top school. And then I think for those kids that, you know where they're going, or they've already, you know, decided or heard back or whatever, you got one semester left. Really enjoy. I think our class from the get-go, you know, you really start to realize, and this is kind of hits right after spring break when you're really close to being done, that you're kind of done with all these guys, you know, the 100-some guys in your class. And I think it was special for our class because we kind of realized that in the fall. And I think that was one of the reasons that, you know, the class of 23 was able to connect and do a lot that we did, because we just loved being around each other and having fun together. So don't fret. Don't worry about what school you get into if it's not your top school. Just live in the moment, be present, still show up to class, and, have fun with your friends. One last ride. So,
I don't think we really touched on it huge in this podcast, but you were the captain in the 2022-2023 undefeated lacrosse season and many other sports teams. And then you guys advanced to the D2 state championship. I mean, I even remember you guys had 2 wins against like Chicken Falls that year, Gilmore, Toledo St. Francis. Like, those were big games. What was being the captain of such a successful team like? And how do you think it changed your perspective on leadership and just how like sports influences people?
Yeah. I think it really ties back to that word culture. So that lacrosse team or program, since being here freshman year, we practiced for 2 weeks, got shut down because of COVID. And then sophomore year, we were in a real rough spot of just, the team not really knowing how to blend well, leaders not really knowing how to lead. Because a lot of those guys were just, that was their first time playing varsity lacrosse. You had a lot of kids that were JV players, going into sophomore year and they lost it, and now they're juniors, or they had juniors that were swinging and now they're expected to lead a team. So you lose that, field experience. And so that was difficult. And then my junior year, we started to pick up the pebbles a little bit and figure out, what it meant to be a team. And I think U.S. Lacrosse, too, has this high standard to be this sort of excellence where, if we don't make it to the regional championship against, Sugar and Falls every year, the season's deemed a failure, which I don't think is necessarily true. It's just, it's a tough spot to be in when D2 lacrosse, to me, it was, you have the competitors or the teams that it was like, all right, this is good lacrosse. And then you have some where it's like, all right, well, maybe that was just like a practice. And then D1 lacrosse, we'd face Ignatius and get, pumped like 22-0. I remember my sophomore year. But that senior year, let me, get on track. It was going back to just culture and trying to figure out how to blend the team and understand, what our goal was. And that was, to restore U.S. lacrosse and put us back on the map. And so it was really just building a culture and building a team. And from there, it just snowballed to, we're winning games smoothly. We're playing as a team. It's not like an individual mindset. There's not one player that's trying to do it all. There's 10 guys on the field for a reason, and all those 10 guys were working together. And I definitely think that's why we were able to, beat Chagrin twice, go undefeated, have an awesome season, and make it to the, state semifinals. Yeah.
We talked about that brotherhood that was built during your time at U.S., and it's definitely a testament to the leadership of people like you. But as those leaders graduate, how do you think that brotherhood can be sustained?
I think, every class is a little bit different, how the leaders bond and get together. I think it's real. I think one of the best parts about the brotherhood from my class was we just really just got close senior year, and I don't really know what it was. It's not like we had a huge only senior assembly and we're like, all right, let's all be friends, guys. It just happened, and it really trickled down from the prefects. I think there were a lot of close friends, in that prefect group, and so being able to, kind of gather a bunch of people to go to those sports games and have fun and all that. I really just think the key is to get to know your class, have fun with each other, go out and eat after school, after practice, have fun. Teachers won't probably like this, but just cause mischief during study halls or you're in the lower commons, have fun. Those are the things that you're going to remember from US, just all the small, dumb, stupid little things that you do. And those small things are what's going to create brotherhood, This
has kind of become a tradition on our podcast of a question that we ask. And it's one that Charlie and I discuss a lot, is those early mornings, you've got a lot of projects due, assignments due. You had maybe a long night the night before.
Yeah.
What keeps you going? What's your why?
Ooh. I mean, wow. All right. That's a good
It's a
one.
deep one.
Yeah, that's a good one. You want me to answer this currently, or you want me to answer this when I was at US?
Well, however you want. Maybe currently.
Okay. Man, I think my why is just, why not? You know, I mean, that could be a basic answer, but I think this past summer, and this year, I've really, kind of took to heart the sense that, you know, you only live once. I'm in college once. I'm in high school once. This is my only sophomore year of college. Make the most of it. And when it comes to, you know, school, right, you could be like, well, why am I going to do that? You know, like, it's so just like I could be doing a lot better things. No, like, you know, you got to do well in school. We go to college to do school. So, yeah, you might have 3 tests that week. Why would I study when there's ChatGPT or whatever and all those things? Because why not? Why, you know, go to school and just slack off? Go to school, make the effort, because at the end of the day, you're going to be looked at eventually on how you did at school for your first job. So the things you learn of, you have 3 tests this week. How are you going to manage that? You're going to be in the workforce one day and have 3 big projects your boss is going to give you. Well, how are you going to do that? You know, you learn something with every single thing you do, and I think life's amazing in the sense that, you know, it's just full of experiences. So my why is just you gain experience. It's fun. You learn something new, whether it's, you know, you hate studying for a test or, you know, you don't want to write this essay. Do it because it'll feel good when you finish it. And it'll feel a lot better when you get a better grade on it than if you slacked off and got a worse grade and then you know, just go out and live college and slack off the rest. So make the most of it. Yeah, make it meaningful.
It's a great answer.
Looking to your future, what is your dream job situation coming out of Boulder? And do you have any kind of plans to move towards that goal?
Yeah. So you know, like I mentioned a little briefly before, I'm really interested in hotel management, hospitality. Still trying to figure out kind of what, you know, how to get into that, what I want to do. But my big dream has always been to work for Disney, work on the hotel side of those things. Grew up as a huge Disney family. I just love how they, you know, that child, you know, how you feel, that childhood feeling you get when you go to Disney. I love how their employees treat their guests and all that. So I'd love to do something involved in Disney. You know, I've worked my way up from there, I guess. But trying to figure out, you know, something along the lines of the hotel travel industry is kind of where I'm looking. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Cooper. This is a great interview and for just so many great stories and honestly, one of my favorite episodes so far. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll hope you join us next Wednesday for another episode of the Late Start Show.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Cooper.
This was awesome.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in.